Hi, and welcome to the latest HR180 vlog. Today we're talking about the very exciting topic of directors' duties, mainly due to something that I very fortunately worked on last year. To start my story off, I was very privileged to work on an interesting case that saw me, for the first time in my career, able to use the allegations corporate espionage and commercial sabotage. To be brief, a UK director and minority shareholder of Company A set up Company B in another country and made himself the majority shareholder. So far, nothing wrong in any of that. However, he then proceeded to send all research and development, including technical drawings for several brand new innovations from Company A, and give them to engineers in his own Company B. This allowed Company B very quick access to the market with world-class products that they hadn't designed, but effectively had stolen. So outside of this being a really salacious case, what other learning was there that might be relevant for you? Well, basically, I've realised that I so often meet people who just don't really understand the responsibilities they have as a director, and I thought it was time for a quick refresher. So here we go with the things you're obliged to deliver as a director, hopefully in just a few minutes. It's a very dry topic. Duty number 1 is to improve the company's success. So in the case above, because the director of Company A was a minority shareholder, he stood to make far more money for himself in Company B. However, he could only do that to the detriment of Company A, and he had a duty to Company A to help and improve its success. Stealing its potential profits in global sales was very much not in alignment with that particular responsibility. As a director, you should always act in a way that takes the following things into consideration. Firstly, the likely consequences of a decision in the long term, not just the short. The interests of all the employees of the company, the need to maintain good business relationships with suppliers and customers and anyone else that your company deals with. The impact of operations on the community and the environment. The need to act fairly for the shareholders. Duty number 2 is to act within a company's powers. Hopefully this is a great basic one and pretty self-explanatory. Don't overreach yourself or your remit. If you're unsure, rely on your articles of association or decisions made by the company and approved by the board. Duty 3 is a responsibility to circumvent a clash of interests. Obviously, in our case study above, there was a clear clash of interest rather than the prevention of one. However, occasionally this can be slightly more tricky. A director should not exploit any property, information or opportunity that comes their way because of company activity. In the case of Donald Trump, come on, I had to mention him, this is doubling the price of rooms in your properties to take advantage of the fact that you're the president. Duty number 4, not to accept benefit from third parties. Hopefully, with all the information that there's been over the years about the Bribery Act, this doesn't need too much explaining. No bribes and no benefits in exchange for something. Duty number 5, to exercise independent judgment. And again, hopefully this is another easy one. Think for yourself, keeping in mind all the other duties. Don't be persuaded by major funders or the bank or anyone else. Duty number 6, exercise reasonable care, skill and diligence. For example, signing blank cheques, which allows for embezzlement and theft, would not really be reasonable care and attention. And yet, how many of us in the past would have done that simply for the sake of brevity? Number 7 is to declare an interest in a proposed transaction. And this is asking directors to declare any interest that they may have before the company enters into a transaction. One extra juicy case of ours last year saw the dismissal of a director for numerous reasons, including having entered into negotiations to acquire a competitor without disclosing to his co-directors that he was a silent partner in a joint business with the owner of the competitor. And then What happens if you don't follow the duties? Well, in the unfortunate but numerous cases we dealt with last year, the directors were dismissed, considered bad leavers, and automatically had their shares purchased back from the company at a nominal value. You could, however, find yourself in a courtroom, and a court then can hold you personally liable to pay back to the company any losses that it has suffered or any profits that you made. While we're on this subject, don't forget there's also a very big difference between shareholders and directors, so please see our blog Lemons and Limes to find out more. Should you require any other information or need help with an ethically challenged director of your own, call us on 0113 287 8150 and we'd be delighted to step in and help. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.